Good morning and welcome to my second ultimate review. This is the ultimate cat figure review, where I will review cat in and the female Air Assault Spartan, who's up here, in all their incarnations. Now it's been a while since I've reviewed, so I'm a little rusty. One thing, I pulled out this cat which I shall be opening. I pulled her out because I wanted to address something about the Halo Reach packaging, and it's the fact that I bought this from the store like this. It was crunched here and staples here, and a dog barking in the background there. McFarlane Toys is packaging. I don't know what it is. I was reading on the Halo figure forum that maybe it's humidity, but as you can see, the package is opened here, but the card back isn't so much. It doesn't have a lot of destruction to it. It's not destroyed, but that's because the plastic and the cardboard just decided to go their separate ways. So the Toys R Us employees stapled the bubble, and then I guess it fell on the ground and someone stepped on it. So I just wanted to point that out. Cat, I like Cat. Ever since I've seen her on the card back for Carter, I wanted to get her. I've only seen her like once or twice on the pegs. I saw her once in Rite Aid, but in that time I was collecting Marvel Universe, so I decided not to pick her up. But now, as you can see, I'm in love with Cat. Alright, so first up, I'm gonna start with Cat from Series 2. She's the first female Spartan figure ever made. Alice was made later this year as part of the Red Team box set. And the package had this render of her, which you could download as a wallpaper from Bungie's website. She has 28 moving parts, and she's from Series 2. There were other figures in the line. You have the Spartan CQC, the Grunt Miner, Skirmisher Miner, the Elite Officer. I have these three guys, but not him since he's an exclusive. And then there was Cat, Spartan CQC White, which I got for my birthday, Carter, which is the first Halo Reach figure I reviewed, and this exclusive Spartan, no, this is a Spartan CQC Red, which I also got for my birthday. So I have all of Series 2 except this guy. So the only Spartan that Cat can swap parts with, which is just her chest, she can only swap parts with the Spartan I'd like to call Rose. And you can also swap heads. See? Pink and blue. It's a good color combination. I call this figure Rose because on McFarlane's website she's listed as Air Assault Spartan female and Rose as the color, which is a hot pink. I mean, if it wasn't for the female frame, like the hips and the skinny arms, there's no way you would confuse the Spartan with a guy. Alice maybe, but not Rose. One thing about Rose and Cat is that while they're both Air Assault Spartans, Rose's head is a little more elongated, and the Rose is taller than Cat, just by a bit. Cat's helmet has this, but as you can see, Cat's head is like more rounder than Rose's. Cat's character, she's an intelligence specialist. Really? She's not strong, but she's smart. In my mind, I think that Cat might have had a bit of a romance going with Tom. That's why when he died, she took it hard. Carter took it hard too, but he's the leader of the team. There's no reason it would affect Cat unless she had something invested. But Cat and Carter are the only two remaining members of Noble Team from the original Noble Team. So I'd like to think Noble Team went through a whole bunch of incarnations. She, as being a female figure, she's kind of, I would like to think that she's kind of on the rare side. The reason I have so many Cat figures, like this cat, which I'll take a look into later. The reason I have so many Cat figures is that when I started collecting Halo figures, I went to a Rite Aid, and they had Cat and the female Air Assault. So I was like, which one do I buy? And I was thinking, I'm gonna get the Noble Team box set with Cat, so I don't buy Cat. And I got Rose. After a few weeks, I decided, you know what, let me pick up Cat. And when I went back to the Rite Aid, Cat was gone. So I felt like a dummy because I didn't know. I missed out on an opportunity, and after hunting several more Rite Aids, I finally found her again. And most of the times when I find her, I pick her up. I've seen her a while. I'm around the city, but it's rare. I can count on one hand how many Rite Aids I've seen Cat, and that I think still carry Cat right now because I left her on the pegs. Alright, so that's it for Cat. It's a little introduction. I'm gonna get into the sculpt and the accessories. Alright, so let's talk about sculpt. First off, like I mentioned before, this is the Air Assault head. It's a little longer than Cat's head. They still look the same everywhere else. Cat's has a little more detail than Rose's head. I put the custom head that I made out of an unhelmeted Cat. I put it on the Rose body. Rose doesn't have any holes in her arms for any armor, so that's a big disappointment. You have on this arm, you have a peg, and this armor has a hole, and then on this arm you have another peg. No one else has pegs on their arms. Maybe the Spartan gun gear, but he only has one on one of his arms. So you can only swap this little UNSC armor, shoulder armor thing with the gun gear. These figures have the standard female articulation that I showed off in my articulation video. So she has female hips. I like looking at her body from this side because it shows how wide the body is with this thin little arm here, opposed to on this side it looks just like a normal arm, normal body. there's a good amount of detail. There's some things here that plug into Cat's body as part of the prosthesis. The females have these weird leg joints. Since McFarlane sculpts their figures from 3D models that Bungie gave them, I'm thinking that Cat's legs were designed like this for the sole purpose of making her model walk the way she does. You know, womanly. So there's some weird legs. One thing I do like is that Cat's foot doesn't have a mid ball joint here. So it's one big plastic foot. And for accessories, you get the standard grenade, which plugs into the pegs in the back. So Rose comes with an assault rifle. This is actually the assault rifle that came in the weapon pack. The one that came with Rose has a bent barrel. I do love the assault rifle. I love this design especially. The Halo design, not so much. The Halo Reach design, pure awesomeness. I love it. And both Cats, helmeted and unhelmeted, come with a grenade, and they also come with the Magnum. I think in everything Cat is shown as loving the Magnum. The peg comes out and can be swapped on both sides. I believe when it's packaged like this with the peg on this side. You can't do it like that because then she'll have to reach over and grab her gun, which is like a waste of time. So you would have to swap it around like that so she could grab it with her right arm. Females don't come with any combat knives. Neither does George. So I guess between the females and George, they don't like to get their hands messy. Face sculpt, I really like it a lot. As you can see, the eyes are painted very well. Spartans all have blue eyes because of the procedure that they undergo. It turns their eyes blue, like in the Carter video. She has a scar here on top of her head and another scar here on her cheek. So, what's my final verdict with respects to Cat and the female Air Assault Spartan? I have to say that I'm biased. I don't think that there's one figure from the Halo Reach line that I don't like. Maybe the skirmishers. But I think the Halo Reach figures, they're amazing. There, I said it. I'm so upset at myself because Carter was my first experience, and I think what got me back into Halo was the whole armor permutations, the way you could swap the armor on the figure and create an entirely new figure. The first figure that I went and bought was the Spartan Operator, and I got like 2 armor packs, one from Series 4, one from Series 5 for that figure, and I was loving the customization. I would recommend Cat. If you don't already have Cat, I would recommend her, just because she's part of Noble Team, and I think I have a bit of a fondness towards the unhelmeted figures. Not only because they're peg warmers, but because I guess as an action figure collector, I'm used to my figures having heads and faces. So I'm used to it. While one fan might love just having Cat with her helmet on, I think as seen here by 2 cat heads, I think that the unhelmeted figures are better. They don't look like they're 3D renders. They bring a bit of a superhuman and a human quality to the Spartans when they're not wearing their helmets. And you can, you know, customize them like I did. You could paint over their armor. You could also customize them like that. I like my Rose custom. The ways that you can get this cat, some Kmarts and some Rite Aids still have cat series 2. Almost every store in the world is getting cat series 6. I've seen her in Kmart, Toys R Us, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Target. So you can get her easily anywhere. And the Air Assault, I would recommend that you check like stores that you haven't visited that are close to you. I know that I could still find her in Rite Aid, and I've seen her in Target and also in Kmart. So that's it for this review. I'm sorry it's been like long. I'm trying to cut down my reviews and follow in the steps of Commander Baccaro without making them too short. So this is a Ares 0083 review. Thanks for watching. See ya on the flip side.